Good day all and welcome to Obidati Family TV. The program now Hope Our Life. Yes, Hope Day. We greet you now wherever on our day obedience worldwide. Good morning, afternoon and evening, depending on our time zone. We say make we come today for studio, make we come to talk. Some things we say don't they happen. As a Supreme Court don't they get said to unveil the 7-man justice committee where we say then go preside over P2B's appeal. We know say now for there everybody attention they straight. They say where person mind they now for there the person they put in every effort. So with the hear different things we be say they come out from Supreme Court. Our people where they talk for X will be former Twitter then they talk. But we get some things we be say the Chief Justice of Nigeria talk. We be say a promised Nigerians say they must deal with the issues. He say, I shall not let Nigerians down. And he continued to say about his colleagues that we shall not fail Nigerians. Yes, we no expect made them fail us. With that very one and other things we be say a concern Tinubu and they come out from United States again and other things we be say them plenty this evening. We say we go bring and come. And not be only me that go bring this thing come out. I have Angel here. I get Esther and Princess. Plus our own UC Maxwell. We be say go join us for Zoom. But make we start from the studio wherever not they go.
Good day, my well-meaning Nigerians, my lovely and intelligent, obedient worldwide. Welcome. Tell your neighbor, say Hope Day. Yes, we get hope. Nigerians need good governance, not palliative. Welcome on board. Let's discuss.
My fellow obedient and well-meaning Nigerians, welcome to another episode of this show. My people, we get plenty things we'll go discuss this evening. Welcome and join the discussion.
Good day, well-meaning Nigerians and my fellow obedient worldwide. Tinubu's camp wants to shift and confuse the public by all the tantrums that are playing around articles, forgery or not. But we'll not allow them. We are focused and we know what we want. So join us as we discuss.
Yeah, so join us, make we discuss this. Whether you dey follow us live now, make sure say you comment, like and share. Make other obedience know wetin dey happen. The most interesting one where we want talk now as we come back to studio, now the one where we say the Chief Justice of Nigeria talk say they no go let Nigerians down. You understand?
Yes.
He talk say him by himself, I shall not let Nigerians down. So NJ, I start with you. With this one what we say he no go let Nigerians down. He sure say they won't do the right thing. I be made them tell us waiting Mahmoud Yakubu of INEC tell us that time.
I really hope that it will not be like INEC chairman. We promise at the end of the day, he no fulfilling promise. Even when we drag and go court, he still like go there. So I believe CJN will keep up to his own promise because this Nigeria day, in fact, I don't even know how to define it now because we are delicate. As far as Nigeria is concerned now, we are delicate. We are the edge that you should not let Nigeria break into pieces, not even into two now.
And one interesting thing where they be say the fate of over 200 million Nigerians they for their hand.
Yes.
They for their hand.
They should not even do like tribunal to start with because this is the last hope of the common man right now. And they need to do the right thing, the needful. Not even technicalities because we don't need it now. Because the evidence is before them. Very clear, crystal clear there. Anything forged, they need to disqualify the person.
According to what the
Constitution? They should judge this thing according to the Constitution. Not even according to technicalities because it will not work this time. Tribunal did it, we let them slide. But this time we will not let it slide. They need to uphold that constitution. What's the need
And
if they can't go by the constitution?
And it be like saying, I respect Nigerians, they give them, we be say nobody don't come out, protest or do anything. They won't allow them to do their job.
Even
actually.
our PO self na peaceful person. Because he no go allow make they split the blood of the innocent citizen just like that. Because as the thing they did them, they know they even value any person. Yes.
Esther, coming to your side, I'm looking at it from the perspective of this CJN that said we shall not fail Nigerians. This CJN said that they, in his, I don't know how to quote it, but he said that, quote, the public, they said no matter how weighty the public opinion is, that is the constitution that will prevail. You understand me? So let's agree that the constitution will prevail, but they also need to look at how weighty the public opinion is, because he's talking about Nigerians here. He said they will not let Nigerians down, and it's still the same Nigerians that are actually talking. You understand? So if Nigerians are talking, they should also weigh the evidence and how weighty that evidence is according to what should be applied in the constitution. What do you think?
Okay, the main issue here be say you don't talking on say public opinion will not supersede. I think that's why he will not supersede the court's judgment or court's ruling. Now the thing be say, according to our constitution, we know, so what we are even arguing about here is not whether Bola Tinubu is not qualified for the presidential seat or not. We're talking about two major things. So we're talking about certificate forgery. We are talking about perjury at the same time. So them not disqualifying Tinubu is, in fact, they're
letting
going out
Nigerians
of,
down.
Yeah, they're letting Nigerians down, and they're going out of the constitution, because the constitution has already said it that according to section 137 that a forger is not qualified, a certificate forger is not qualified to participate in any election. Now there is a certificate forgery there, and there is also the issue of perjury. So it's not about whether he attended CSU or not, all those arguments going front and back. The issue is that these are the things that are involved, and they should know what to do according to the constitution.
Yeah, thank you. And Esther, before I come to you, if you look at the screen now, we see that Jackson Ode made a tweet that it says the FBI files on Bola Tinubu. You know, the FBI said they are going to be dropping about 2,500 pages of his thing. So he's just bringing it up to say that the files on Bola Tinubu will drop in less than 2 weeks, because 2 weeks from now means the end of the month. He said in a week plus it will drop. Calm down, guys. They promise it will drop at the end of the month of October, because I see some people still asking around, where is this file? What is inside this file? He said FBI is not DSS or EFCC. They will do exactly what they plan to do. Bola Tinubu cannot stop them. That is from Jackson Ode. And that brings me to one of the major things that Jackson Ode tweeted that has to do still about that very forfeiture of 460K. You understand me? Yes. That 460, some people just thought it's just 460K, but he tweeted something that brings about how Tinubu, I don't know whether it's the Soulgate murder and the other people. Okay, let's even take a look to what Jackson brought about. But before we get to this, okay, let's start with this. The Nigerian police and Tinubu drug cartel, according to Jackson Ode, he said the police has been a rotten entity for many years. Amongst its rank and file are criminals, drug barons, armed robbers. Kafaru Oluwole Tinubu, father of Wale Tinubu, the owner of Oando, was a senior police officer who served as a federal commissioner for health in the 1970s. And was a drug lord based in Lagos. He was the one who created and rechristened Yekin Amonda Ogonere, which is Sangondele, to Bola Tinubu. Now, He said the new Bola Tinubu ran drug errands for K.O. Tinubu and his sister Abibatu Mogaji within the Lagos area before he was shipped to the United States to join Adeboyega Muaza Kande. Now, this Akande would later bring in Abiodun Agbere, who in 1993 let the cat out of the bag and named the drug cartels during interrogation by officials of U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency, DEA. Now, at the time before he was arrested, Agbere was supplying Lee Andrews Edwards heroin using 7504 streets. That is the street where Tinubu now assumed his residency in. But before we continue with this very particular tweet, I want us to look at that very particular paper where Tinubu and the Kafaru Magaji and the Oluwole himself, where they actually were named in a court document. Exactly. That's why it's on the screen. So, if we look at this very place, after that very particular 460K for feature, there was still remaining about probably more than $1 million inside that account. Now, this is the document that is the affidavit of evidence that were used by their own lawyers to retrieve that amount of money. So that is where Jackson Ude is coming from. So if we look at this document, well, we'll find out that the document is showing the names of these people as one, the claimants is a Bola. The claimants is one, Bola A. Tinubu. Then the second one is K.O. Tinubu, which is the I think the man in Lagos. And then we have Alhaji Abibat Mogaji. So these are the three names that I mentioned. And again, if you look at this document as it scrolls up, you will see that it's an affidavit to retrieve that amount. Let's look at it. It's done 15th day of September, right? 1993. That same 1993 we're talking about. Now let's look at the other document again. That very other document, if we see who filed it, we'll see that this Patrick F. Coffey, which is the name of the council. And if you see, it's in the matter of United States versus funds in the account of 2622670080. This is the account where that money was housed. The money that Jackson Ude was actually talking about. So, and this is the lawyers that were hired by this, the appearances that they appear for. These are the lawyers that actually appeared for them, who retrieved that very money for them, because that money was trapped. Over $1 million US trapped. Now, where do we bring? Let's take a picture. Let's see the picture of this Kafaru, the Magaji, and the people who are actually they are named on this very document. And Jackson Ude is emphasizing that part of the things that will come out from this very particular FBI documents are going to come out, that these are part of the things that are going to come out. One, Alhaji Kafaru Oluwole Tinubu was involved. How? Because the name appears on the document that is to retrieve that money. Then we see another name there, which is Mogaji Abibatu. The name appeared there again, and then we look at Bola A. Tinubu. We're talking about the three people that their name appeared on the document. Let's go back to the document so that people can clearly understand why these names are associated. Because sometimes you might say, why are you calling somebody who is already gone, who might be dead? You understand me? The old lady and the old man over there, because the names are here. They are the defendants. They call them defendants. The plaintiff in this matter is United States of America. It's still in the same district called Northern District of Illinois, Eastern Division. Now, the defendants are now called here funds in the account of 26322 700 all. Now, this is affidavit evidencing compliance with General Rules 39. And what is this General Rules? Is like affiliate in the is the attorney, that is the person who deposed this now, is the attorney of record for the people who are the defendants. And the defendants here are named these three people. Tinubu is there involved. Then the KO Tinubu, the KO Tinubu is also involved, and the Alhaji Mogaji. So these are the people who this lawyer, which is Patrick S. Coffey of Gardner and Corton, that is the firm. Of course, we can see all of these things here. So these are the people who retrieved the funds that were trapped in the United States court. So coming back to the studio, Angel, we can see that one is very, very clear that when we are talking about this 460,000 USD forfeiture, that one is the one that everybody knows. That is the one that has gone, that we forfeited to the US. Yes. But actually in that account, there's over $1 million. You understand me? Yeah. And now we can see the people that, as Jackson is positioning, people who actually has been dealing with this. But let's continue. Let's finish this before I come back to you. He said, at the time before he was arrested, Agbere was supplying Edwards heroin using 504 South Stewart Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, at their base. And we know that this address is the Tinubu's address that, of course, I shown everywhere. Now, Agbere is currently languishing in Nigeria after serving jail term in the US for narcotics crime, of course. He carried out and on behalf of Tinubu, the drug cartel. Now, Tinubu, the drug cartel abandoned him, and he broke the oath of secrecy by revealing members of the gang cartel. You understand? So he was actually the one that ratted on them, if so to speak. Now they said, Alhaji Kafaru Oluwole Tinubu, Bola Tinubu, Abibat Magaji were all prosecuted at the United States District Court, Illinois, for narcotics crime in 1993. While Tinubu forfeited 460K. KO Tinubu was refunded more than $1 million US because the US laws will not allow them to take all the seized funds. That is where the $460,000, because that is what the law allows them. Now, I may not know whether the named people, the Kafaru Oluwole Tinubu and the Abibatu Magaji, whether they have been, whether they were prosecuted in the US, but what that document that we can see clearly shows is that they were involved as defendants in that matter. You understand me? So they were actually the one who wished to retrieve the money funds in the account. You understand me? Yes. So, and these people are associated with Tinubu, and this is 1993. You understand? So these things are clear, and you know, it's just for people to know that more of this is coming out from the FBI files. We are going to see, they keep calling him Sangondele, Amonda, you know, different names. But the important thing is that FBI file is going to come in the maximum of 2 weeks. We should be able to have
less than 2 weeks.
Less than 2 weeks, correct? Yes. And we are going to see some of this. So that is what Jackson is talking about here. I just needed to bring that so that we know. So I don't know if Maxwell is has joined us, and if Maxwell is not here, let's proceed to other things that we have. Let's get to that Maxwell's tweet where he positioned that Bola Tinubu is a mistake that should never have happened, even to a primary school leadership. You know, Angel, even before we go into this, but let me get to Princess, who has neither spoken. We can see here that what Maxwell, I think he had in mind when he was doing this very tweet, is to state the obvious that first Tinubu scaled through 1999 by virtue of the people who, by virtue of having gathered that immunity that binded him as a governor at that very time. How he succeeded his second term, I will not know. But the question I want to ask you is this: why is it that Tinubu had to make the mistake the third time. You understand? Because he had the opportunity of going or asking somebody to go to Chicago State University to actually get the replacement diploma for him. You understand? And if he did send somebody to get, the person actually defrauded him. You understand me? Because I mean, it doesn't make sense to suggest that after what he had passed in 1999 and what he would have gone through all this while to have made the same mistake again, because obviously somebody had just just put him wide open for a sucker punch.
That is one thing with all these rich people, they will not want to do it themselves, because I feel like that's what happened right here. He probably did not go himself to request for that, because he was one that, we are not sure who did the requesting, but there was a replacement certificate ordered, and he knew about it because he was making in Chatham House and all that. He was stating that he
was
knew
very
about,
obviously telling the whole world that he has collected it, but obviously the person who went to collect that thing for him obviously gave him a fake duplicate. You understand me?
Yes, and that's sad. And that's, I think that's also part of the thing that UC Maxwell is pointing out here. These are the things that Supreme Court should be looking at to make sure that they don't uphold this man, and that's it.
Yes.
Because he doesn't deserve to be there in the first place.
Yeah.
One man is having forgery. One man is having identity theft. One man is having all these pages of FBI that's going to be released very soon. Only one man, and he cannot. This same person cannot even head. He shouldn't even be allowed to head a primary leadership. Okay. Do you understand? So, and that's what I can imagine how scary it is now.
Because if you lead the primary school children, what will you teach the children themselves? What do they take from you as, like their leader? What are they looking up to? Is it the fact that from your childhood they can't tell by your names? They can't tell your schoolmates, they can't tell all of this. But, all of these are really not really what I feel is the problem. The problem is that he's so much, that Tinubu so much believed that he had the origin, I mean, not the original because he said it's lost, but the replacement diploma. That when he was there, he said they can even check his DNA. You understand? That if they want his DNA, they can check. He was talking so confidently. But it seems he was unaware that he was being deceived. He was given a fake document, and as if it's coming from CSU. Because obviously, why do we say so? If that if CSU is insisting that they still have the replacement diploma with them, it means Bola Tinubu had not collected it. You understand me? And he's telling lies to the whole world. So it's really a mess. So this, looking at what UC Maxwell tweets, if we take a look at it again, I just was talking to this. So he said, Bola Tinubu is a mistake that should never happen, even to a primary school leadership. He said, a man who paid over $500,000, $500,000 just to speak to an empty hall. Then I'm coming to you now, Esther. Just to speak to an empty hall, that is on the hunger. I think that's what he means. He said, Nigerians rejoice because that is how expensive legitimacy can be. Tinubu can continue making efforts to buy legitimacy, but he will never be recognized as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. At least not by me. I know my president. Meaning he know who is. Of course we know. Should be P2B, of course. You understand? So he said that he spent a whopping $500,000 for an empty podium. And he was actually showing it on the tweet, you understand me? And where was that money wasted? On the hotel reservation. There is more, you understand? These ones are the ones who are able to find how much, you understand me? If we talk about the cost of even fueling the Air Force One jet that went there, you understand me? If we talk about the cost that you pay people who have traveled, and because all these officials that travel with him, they are being paid to go for such, you understand me? Extra code and all that. So if you factor those things in, you see how much money of taxpayers' money, and yet they will tell us that we should be calm and we should be patient. Yes, and then they will be giving people palliatives, borrowing money to give palliatives. There's one that the producer just showed there. They were showing people, they'll be giving them either half bag of rice, put it oil on top, and Nigerians will keep collecting these things. You understand me? Yeah. I thought it's only on the election time they come and deceive people. Is it after election they will come back and be deceiving people, giving them tomato? This oil that is at the top of this place, at least, Angel, you have been cooking. Will this thing be enough to do stew? let's even.
For how long? That is the issue. It's not even funny. For how long? For family of how many? Let's be serious. They just paid a night in a hotel. How much did they pay? Millions. And you are giving a family woman with maybe 7 children and a husband, a cousin, a nephew, a niece, with a bag of rice and a tomato. You people should get conscience now. You people should have conscience. You spend millions just to lie down on a bed and sleep, just to go clubbing, pop champagne, and that money will even do a community. That money they squandered there. It will be enough to put up so many guys, youths, up in their businesses.
Yes. Angel, you see, anyway, I think we'll get back to that, but let's even listen, because not only us they talk, they like some people for mainstream media that are also talking the same thing, knowing that they wasted so much money around that very thing. And you know, earlier in the show, we're able to tell people that that was not the amount that was wasted. You understand me? They already do deal, because Nigeria and a crime scene. Anything where they go do, somebody must chop money somewhere. You understand? But let's take a listen from Arise. At least I was happy to see that after we did the show, that they were able to bring that on their show. Let's take a listen from Arise.
The Foundation for Investigative Journalists obtained a memo dated September 11, 2023, showing that the federal government allegedly spent a whopping $507,000 on hotel accommodation for President Bola Tinubu at the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly. According to the memo, over $422,000 out of the total amount covered the cost of rooms booked for the president and his close aides at the St. Regis Hotel in New York from September 16th to September 23rd, and the remaining $84,000, which is 20% of the hotel reservation cost, was for incidentals. I mean, you know, when Nigerians hear that amount, $507,000 in this economy, you know what
so
that
this
means.
Was a leak. This was a leak, and I must put a caveat, we're here to independently verify this. But if this is true, it is every shade bad. Because we can't live in a country this way when you tell the citizens to tighten their belt and you're frolicking with this amount of money. It's just very sad. You see, it's this new level of madness we have in our country. But are you surprised, Oji? We're here sitting down that an ex-militant was going to be running for deputy governor. So the system that brings our politician in is rubbish in the first place. Intellectuals, clear-headed, peaceful people don't get to the top position. For you to get to the top position in Nigeria, you must have killed people with guns. You must be able to use gun, have an army to be able to destroy and kill people. We can't build a country that way. And that's why we are falling. We are sinking. Nigeria is at a precipice today. Look at the quality of our lawmakers. Many years ago, somebody said in the parliament, was a former police officer, and he looked at the lawmakers and the senators and said, most of these people here, they've been in my cell at one point or the other. So it's not today that we've destroyed the country. In all of this, you know what hurts my heart so much? All of those cars the lawmakers are buying, the money goes to Japan. It's not Nigeria-made car. But in the 70s, Nigeria had a partnership with Peugeot Automobile of Nigeria, and most government functionaries had to drive Peugeot cars. That same Nigeria, all of a sudden, the government functionaries said they must only drive SUVs. As at 1999, the governors that were just sworn in, most of them had Peugeot cars in their fleets. Peugeot 504, best line. All of a sudden, they say, no, it's SUV Jeeps. We are producing the SUV in Nigeria. Nord, Innoson, what's this guy's called? It gets to my head. All of them are producing cars in Nigeria. We will not buy from them. We will take the money to Japan. So even if you have bought the car from a local manufacturer to put the money, the 7 billion into the Nigerian economy, Do you know how much that will have done? But the same lawmakers will be the ones to say, oh, we don't want to drive it. We are doing fertility and all that. We deceive ourselves too much and we destroy this country. You see, I keep singing the song that Unilag students were singing when they were protesting. They said we all have a hand in it. The story of how Nigeria got spoiled, we all had an hand in it. Gbogbo wa la lọ́wọ́ ńbẹ̀, gbogbo wa la lọ́wọ́ ńbẹ̀, bí Nigeria ṣe bàjẹ́, gbogbo wa la lọ́wọ́ ńbẹ̀. We all have an hand in it. And I just hope when the rain starts to beat us, we don't complain. Look at these people that are supposed to represent the people. Look at what they are. They are the ones too that receive gifts. They receive prayers in their email address. May God forgive us.
We have other people who are joining us on this very discussion to say that excessive expenditure by the FG is totally out of place. And not only that, the House of Rep members that are giving vehicles, it's not like they should not have vehicles as they come on. Before they even come to become reps, they already have vehicles. You understand me?
They can even patronize us, and it's still in our economy.
The this thing is that they need that very particular vehicle to go to their constituencies so that they can reach out to their constituency, because they were unable to tar the roads that lead to their constituencies. Their roads are bad. And anyway, we continue to...
Apart from their roads are bad, they're supposed to patronize our local producers. Yes, because that is what our PO said, from consumption to production. Because we have our own. Inosin produces cars. And he produces SUV. So they won't say, oh, we want SUV. And Inosin doesn't have. Inosin has. And it's very good, very strong. And
there is even an assembly plant in Kaduna that also assembles vehicles.
Exactly. So why go outside to dash Toyota products, companies, that huge amount of money? While Nigeria is crying, oh, there is no money in the country, there is no money in the country. Why should they? It doesn't make sense. They should reason.
Okay, what we have in the screen right now, while we get back to that, is that they have a bill, whether, you know, saying at the here now and say this bill, they sign bills, I've been awaiting, they pass bills anyhow. So they don't begin, they send one. So this setup don't send this thing for them. They say, like, maybe they reject the bill to regulate social media. That one now, they won't begin, they gag us like then they gag all the other media houses. You understand me? They won't, no one make we talk, because at least now from us, people, they hear the truth of what they come out. Like the one where we say, they say, record that Tinubu and his team had resent the social media regulation bill back to the National Assembly for reintroduction. The social media regulation bill is repressive in nature, aimed at silencing critical voices against Tinubu and his team, as well as rights violation and intimidating journalists into silence. Now, what for me, in the next 20 days, Tinubu should be over. If the Supreme Court does not remove or disqualify Tinubu, then you understand. So I can endure the next 20 days. I don't have a problem with this very something, because I really believe that the Supreme Court should do the right thing, really according to this very quote Ariwola promise. He said we should not, that they should not let, they are not going to let Nigerians down. Yes, exactly. So with that very one, we'll go begin the Vano, they go on other things. But I see say Esther Yoma they do muimui.
Okay, now the thing we say, the whole essence of good governance is for you to give the people you're leading a good life, a better life. Understand? But what these politicians are after is that they're only after their pockets, their own stomach infrastructure. They don't even bother if the citizens are being well taken care of. They don't bother about roads. They don't bother about anything. They're just after their own. Look at the amount of money that was just spent. So this is just their hotel accommodation. Nobody's talking about feeding. Nobody's talking about other miscellaneous expenses. Now, but in that same country where this kind of money is being taken away from, they have so many bills they have to pay. And no money is even coming in as a kind of maybe added something. It's just, everything is just going out. They're just squandering everything. Both the ones they met in the office, both the ones they even go out there to borrow. It's just they're just after their own self and not about the masses, which is very, very bad. This is not what our PO is. This is not the new and good Nigeria that we are praying and hoping for.
Yeah. Of course, just 20 days. You know me, I don't start my countdown. They always talk, I'm not countdown. 20 days to go from Supreme Court.
I really hope
20 days to go. That is what we need to be counting down. Because if Supreme Court fails to disqualify Tinubu, then we know whether heavens will not fall again. You understand me? Let's see how.
Eyes on this.
But again, you are talking about the SUV. That they are
the
buying,
House of Reps.
The House of Reps are getting, and I also saw that Arise treated that very information.
I love this Arise. They're always on point.
Let's hear how they treated the issue of the SUVs. Let's take a listen.
160 members of the lower chamber will receive sports utility vehicles valued at 160 million naira each, totaling a sum of 57.6 billion naira as personal gifts. The spokesperson of the House, Akin Rotimi, said the reports carry varying exaggerations and that the vehicles are not personal gifts to the lawmakers, but the property of the National Assembly within the 4-year tenure of the House. The spokesman also stated that the vehicles will serve as work tools for the lawmakers because Nigerians deserve highly mobile representatives who can access remote locations as they carry out their duties, and that can only be achieved with functional and reliable off-road vehicles. While reactions have been trailing the budget for the SUVs, users on social media have dug up a video of President Hichilema of Zambia, who back in 2021 rejected a budget proposal of $1.8 million for the purchase of his vehicles. Let's take a look before we come back for a discussion.
Why are you using money to buy a VX for the mayor? That VX for the mayor can put toilets in all the markets in your constituency. Why do you want to pretend? You know that you cannot afford a VX. Why do you want to pretend? Because you are using taxpayers' money. Now you should pretend. After the 16th of August last year, the system came to me and said, Mr. President, sign here $1.8 million. That near Chandalama, we ordered new vehicles. Your colleague ordered new vehicles. So now you sign because you need new vehicles. I said, why? $1.8 million for the president's vehicles? Are there no vehicles in status? They are there. Are they not moving? They are moving. Are there no wheels? They have wheels. I said, I will use those. Cancel that tender. It's cancelled. I have not bought any new vehicle because I'm conscious this is not my money.
He's conscious. This is not his money. Whose money are we using? I think this is the message that the lawmakers should focus on, our Nigerian lawmakers. I think that the president of Zambia hit the nail on the head. If you already have vehicles, why purchase new vehicles? I mean, I thought that I was going to hear some sort of rebuttal from the lawmakers saying that, oh, we're not purchasing it for this price of money. But instead, they say that they actually need those vehicles.
Okay, so we don't hear how Arise deal with the XUV issue. We're going to move a little from that very side because we know say plenty talk, plenty for that very side. Make we join our own UC Maxwell. First, make I start with UC Maxwell. You get something where you tweet. And what you tweet, you talk say Bola Tinubu is a mistake that should never happen, even to a primary school leadership. I beg, just give us that one before we go to the Supreme Court matter.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. Kanu. Good evening to everybody waiting for studio, and good evening to Nigerians who they listening to me wherever you do. Now, as for a person as Bola Tinubu, it is very, very unfortunate say we don't get this kind of person where Yakubu Mahmoud don't carry put for the seat of presidency will be the highest office for the entirety of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, the reason why I made that statement on my tweet or my Twitter handle is very simple, because the person of Bola Tinubu is not even qualified to be a class captain. He is not qualified because there is actually no verifiable document that can attest to him entering an institution or going to school and finishing from the school. There is actually no verifiable evidence whatsoever which is before us. Now, look at the baggages that has come with one man, a man who has forfeited the sum of $160,000 as proceeds of narcotic trafficking, that is drug trafficking and money laundering, a man who forged certificates, a man whom during his time as governor of Lagos State was caught in the web of several allegations of fraud and corruption, a man who has perjured, who has lied under oath, and a lot of things. Now, this is not the kind of person that is worthy to be president of intelligent minds. Of course, Nigeria has a Nobel laureate as a citizen of this country. And Nigerians also have people who have gone far and wide to establish themselves in life. And we now have a person who there is no verifiable information from him. This same person has given his son the liberty to be flying around the country in the presidential, private jet. It's a shame. It's a shame. There are videos that have emerged to the public where his son, Chidi Tinubu, is also seen throwing a party in the presidential private jet. So these are the things. When you put a man who has this many baggages in the place of power, you don't expect anything different. You can't expect anything different. In the same manner, a person who has spent $500,000 just for the purposes of accommodation in an event where he spoke to almost nobody. This is the shame that we are facing as a country, where we are just spending money on total rubbish, things that are not important, things that do not affect the economy, and things that don't even improve commerce, production, and, a good economy in Nigeria. So these are the problems, and that is why I made that statement.
Okay, Maxwell, thank you very much for that very one. But most importantly, as you take talk, in the next 20 days, which we believe is the timeline that the Constitution gave, which is 60 days from the pronouncement of the presidential tribunal. So I believe it's remaining 20 days from today. So we are expecting that within the next 20 days that the justices of the Supreme Court must, by the will of the people and the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, disqualify Tinubu. Now, one of the things that is in the appeal from the P2B's grounds of appeal is that very 25% of our votes. We have some of our people on the comment section and on some of our platforms who are actually asking questions on what are we bringing, what's our grounds of appeal on that very 25% of our Abuja as it relates to the section 1342B of the 1999 Constitution. What do you have to answer them, please?
Okay, thank you very much. Very simply, I have said categorically that, or it is, of course, general knowledge that in the interpretation of the Constitution, of the provisions of the 1999 Constitution, it should be given its literal and ordinary meaning before you go into the business of giving, several meanings. Then if the literal meaning or ordinary meaning is not able to solve the lacuna, then there is now that need to further look into the law and then give other meanings to it. Now, what are the arguments of Peter Obi's lawyers in this particular issue? It's very simple. They are saying that the court below, that is the Court of Appeal, made a mistake, misdirected itself when it decided to rely on the provisions or on the statements in the preamble of the 1999 Constitution in creating the notion that the people in Abuja are not special people. So when the court looked at the preamble and looked at the people in Abuja and declared that they were not special, the court was actually, this is the argument of the lawyers, the court was actually misdirected in the sense that the status of specialty, what makes the entire argument of being special, is not on the people resident in Abuja. It is on the territory that is known as the Federal Capital Territory. And it's very, very simple argument that when you look at the territory considered as Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, there is a special status. And if you look at the ordinary and literal meaning of the provisions of Section 134, subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution, it provides that you need to get 25% in 24 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The ordinary interpretation, the literal interpretation by the arguments of these lawyers are very simple. That by the ordinary meaning, there was no need for the court to even look at the preamble, which looks at the generality of people, that we, the people of Nigeria, we, the people of, the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That was not the intention of the lawmakers when they were drafting Section 134 of the 1999 Constitution. So these are the arguments of the lawyers, expressing the fact that you are not looking at the people within Abuja. You are looking at the status of FCT as it is in the Constitution, not the people who are living there. Because people come and go, the country remains. So that is the argument. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I believe that all obedience worldwide, they are hearing you now, that have been asking us this question, that at least they will be relieved to understand that we have a very good point on our appeal, which specifically states that this very 25% of Abuja that they failed to uphold at the tribunal must also be upheld at the Supreme Court. But most importantly, that Bola must be disqualified, having presented a forged certificate. So thank you very much, Maxwell. Let's come back to the studio this time and look at our time. Don't they give us signal angel, and the signal way they give us now make we the Vano the Karaoke come out.
Yes, so thank you so much, UC Maxwell. We appreciate you. Our well-meaning Nigerians, my lovely and intelligent, obedient worldwide. I don't tell Ona say our new hashtag na Spring Court, all eyes on Spring Court. Disqualify Tinubu now. He get too many baggage we in carry, and we no need them now for this Nigeria where we dey. They suffering too much. They keep squandering money. They will borrow, they will squander. They will borrow. No be wait. For how many days now? For how many years? I been the one rule ghost. My people, make we rise up. All eyes on the Spring Court. We appreciate you. We love you. Subscribe, like, share. Make all the obedient they hear waiting they happen. Do your own evangelism, my people. Thumbs up to the video. Make all the obedient they hear waiting they happen. We thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. But God loves you more. Bye for now.